100% hike. What's the hike right now you got it? Like maybe 400,
I could say 600%. No,
600%.
yeah.
What did your resume to DevOps, right?
More like there used to be a pipeline that used to run 40 minutes in every production release or UAT release, and I made that reduced to 5 minutes. So it made my work for 2 weeks came to 20 minutes. That's where my interest in automation started. And like I was actually trying to.
Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. And this is going to be a very interesting podcast with Sagar, who has started his journey from a system admin role, which is not at all DevOps, and he was just installing some Microsoft Teams binaries and some basic software applications. And now he is working as a senior cloud infrastructure engineer in Portugal in product-based company. And we would definitely know the complete roadmap of his preparation strategy in this video. So stay tuned. So Sagar, over to you. Introduce yourself to our audience.
Yes, so hi Praveen. Thank you for it's the second time I became host here in this channel. Uh, like coming to my journey, so I started as a system admin like in TCS, and like there my work used to be mostly like the installing Teams, Outlook as you said. And at one point, like we had this Ansible tool introduced, and like that's where like my like interest in automation started. Like where I used to like make these installations for 2 weeks, and like that reduced like use with the help of Ansible, it came to 20 minutes. My work for 2 weeks came to 20 minutes. That's where my interest in automation started. And like I was actually trying to check roles in Ansible, and like Ansible didn't came alone. It came with a lot of other stuff which I don't even know. So what I did is like from the job descriptions, I came to know that these profiles was for DevOps engineers. So I followed every DevOps guy there, and I think like that's where like we even crossed the paths, where one of the guy like he liked your post saying that you are like training something. So that's where I think like at that time you were training for free at your initial times. So that's where
Yeah.
like I came inside, like I saw, okay, this is DevOps and this is the flow, this is called Jenkins, this is everything. So that's when I changed my resume to DevOps engineer. I changed everything and I started applying jobs. But most of the times I got rejected. I think at that time I came back to you saying that, like, brother, see, like I'm getting rejected. And I think this is a motivational line I took from Praveen Singapalli. He said, you just need one job. Like if you're applying for 100 jobs, apply for 200. Like based on that, I just gave my every try, and I think I landed up in three job offers at that time. And one job
Mm.
offer was like Metis, which was my previous company. From
Okay.
there, yeah, from there I actually worked with two clients, and then like I came to an on-site to Portugal here. And like once
Mhm.
after an year, like we had this contract bond for 1 year. Like once after 1 year, I started exploring things. So that is where now I'm in a product-based company, which is a fintech company. So now
Okay.
I work as a senior infrastructure engineer. So that's how, like knowing nothing to knowing a lot of things. Now it's more like the work I do here now. It's more like developers just give code and I make the plans, I make the automation, I make things work, I like do deploy, I suggest everything. So it's
Great.
more
Great.
like that. That's how the journey came from system admin to senior infrastructure engineer. Yes.
Great. I mean, I was getting really motivated when you were telling from knowing nothing to capable of telling teams to follow what you are thinking. Actually, that's a great statement from you, Sagar. So tell me one thing, like, how was your years of experience with TCS? Like, what you would say if a fresher straight out of college is joining TCS? What is your recommendation? What are your lines over that? If anyone is falling under a non-IT domain or a non-DevOps domain, what do you suggest as of now in 2025?
It's more like because I see people like working hard. It's more like the way I worked, I'd say, because I'm a support engineer there. So being a support guy, it's like you should be 24 by 7 available or something. But I made a restrictions. It's more like the time limit. It's more like Sagar works only 9 to 5. And after 5, Sagar doesn't lift the calls. Let them think bad. Let them the impression go away. It doesn't like I don't care about that. I care about me now. So after 5, it's more like 9 to 5 is my work profile. So I'll work,
Hmm.
I'll give my best. It's done. After 5, I
Hmm.
used to take, just a break for 1 hour or something. And it's like 1 hour. I used to study, like whatever. That's where
Hmm.
I started exploring. Like 1 hour I used to study, 1 hour I used to like apply jobs. So it's more like that. And parallelly, I used to take care of my health, gym, everything. So it's like,
Hmm.
or be it a fresher or experienced, I would say constraints. It's more like time limits. Your work is 9 to 5, stay there. Post that, no work, nothing. Like you are like trying to upskill, like 1 hour is enough. It's more like
Hmm.
your consistency matters here. It's more like one day on Sunday you sit for 4 or 5 hours, and next Monday like you do nothing, and Tuesday you
Hmm.
do nothing, and next Sunday you do six for 6 hours. It's more like even if it's half an hour or 10 minutes you're learning something. It's more like the consistency played a major role for me actually.
Correct. 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 Understood. So you are telling to everyone that be consistent in learning. If you are learning for 2 hours, do it for Monday to
Mm.
Saturday or Sunday, and continue your learnings for a fresher. Right.
Yes, it's like a time limits and consistency. That's it. Like the human focus brain is like 1.5 hour or something. Post that even
Correct.
if you focus, it's bogus.
Correct, correct. Great, great. So tell me one thing. When you were in TCS, right? So, and you were given a system admin role. So, what tasks? Like, I would like to know a little bit deep. Like Outlook and all, you told that installation happened. So, if you see like hardly a 4 5 hours of job that you are doing, so what is that you were doing actually? I wanted to know.
It's not like 4 5 hours. It's more like it's the same repetitive tasks. It's more like developer guy calls, like he says, like I need this Java software installed, I need this Windows OS installed, I need this installed. And sometimes the Microsoft releases some versions every Tuesday, and we had to
Correct.
update that. So it's more
Oh,
like that. I had to go there, I had to update that, and the worst part is like I was in COVID at that time, so we used to work
okay.
in remote. So it's more like
Mhm.
I had to get the IP of the developer, and for that
Mhm.
it's more like I can't take his time away. It's more like he's into important work, I had to wait. And here it's more like I had to update my manager saying that, see, that guy is not available. It's like, chase the guy, chase the guy, chase the guy. So it used to be a kind of there's no new learning there. It's more like you do the
Correct.
same work every time again and again. And sometimes you feel like bored. What am I doing here? Like there's some meme like, what am I doing with my life? What is the meaning?
Correct. 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 Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so that's very bad, and doing the same kind of work, it really bores, right? So
Yes.
one question here to you, which is like, what do you think? Like almost like quick years have been completed, and if you are in the same position, let's say system admin, what
Mm.
you have been doing right now?
So if I'm in the same position for 6 years of system admin, to be honest, I would not feel my life interesting. It's more like just go to work, do work, take salary, just done, 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 done. Even
No,
most of your time, like let's say in 24 hours, you spend like eight
Mhm.
hours of your day in the work. So
Correct,
that's where like things should get interesting. Even that time, I think like being a fresher, the salary is fine for me, but things were not getting interesting for me. That's where I
Mhm.
started exploring things out. So that's where actually, if the Ansible is not introduced, I might have still stayed there. So Ansible,
Correct,
something like it changed everything. As I said, like in 2 weeks to 20 minutes, that's where I felt like this is amazing because it
correct,
reduced my work and it is something new for me.
correct.
That's where now it's more like now I'm automating everything.
Great, great. That's awesome. So tell me, like from TCS to Metis, right?
Yeah.
How much hike you got in this process of transformation, and you converted your resume to DevOps, right? From system admin.
Yes, it's more like because I worked a bit in Ansible, so I stayed there
Hmm.
in Ansible, and some things like from Praveen Singampally itself, I took that I made these
Okay,
things, and then
okay,
I
okay.
converted. It's more like, and then I got actually 200% hike, but
Great.
yeah, but once I'm in, it's more like they started giving me few tasks, and I was
Okay.
able to capable to compete with a senior there. It's because I learned. It's more like
Great.
the resume might be, something, but I learned personally. So that's where the first appreciation I got was like they kept me along with a senior, and I was
Okay.
able to deliver more work than him. So,
Awesome.
so
Uh-huh.
that's where like they got impressed, and I was the only guy in Metis like where I did not get. I later came to know that the new guys get training and then they go to the job. For me, I did not
Hmm.
get any training. I did not know that. I was like directly. I was like okay because they felt confident. I was like very happy with that.
Great,
and
great,
like
great.
and I think like there is a proud work that I did there. It's like I'm still proud of it. It's more like there used to be a pipeline that used to run 40 minutes in every production release or UAT release, and I made that reduced to 5 minutes. So it made a lot of people's job easier because like whenever release happens, every guy must connect, be it back and front and DevOps guy, and
Correct.
because they had to stay for 1 hour, and because I made this thing to like 5 minutes, so they could focus on the other work. So it's more like they were very happy with that.
Great, great. So can you elaborate like what exactly what you did in this 40 minutes to 5 minutes reduction? Some steps if you want to share, because I think many of the people don't know actually, and they
Yes.
also feel that if you are from non-IT to DevOps, what if you cannot survive in the team, right? But you achieved a great feat. Like what you did actually?
It's more like because I observed like generally the pipeline, the steps, right? What are the steps it's taking? Like step one,
Hmm.
step two, step three, step four. There is one step I observed because since it's an e-commerce platform, there are like files that are being uploaded there, and it started giving permissions to every folder there. So it's
Okay.
a large chunk of folders that has to give
Hmm.
permissions, and that step. Like I checked like what step takes the longer step. So that
Hmm.
step is the only thing that takes like 35 minutes, almost 35 minutes. Like remaining steps, even like without that, it will be finished in 10 seconds. So I said like, because there is a files that are already uploaded there. There are files with already permissions. So why to give permissions again? So I made a variabilized thing. So if a new
Oh,
folder comes there, only that folder gets permission, and like remaining folders have the same permission. So that reduced a lot of time constraint there. It was actually
got,
simple step, but
got
reduced
yeah.
it like 40 minutes to
But
5
that's
minutes.
what people say, right? Where we have to hammer, we have to know to get paid. So I think
Yeah.
that's a very good work you have done. So in Metis, you got on-site opportunity, right? So
Yes.
and you are not a DevOps engineer, but you learned on your skill. You chased many people in your path, converted your resume, and finally got on-site opportunity. Oh,
Yes.
how you got? Because many of us, even today, right? If I see my 8 years of journey, I am still hunger for what on-site. And my plan is someone has to sponsor me, then only I will go. So
Okay.
what was in your case? Like,
Uh,
how did you got that
to be
opportunity?
honest, I would say luck favored me a lot. It's
Hmm.
because the senior guys were offered first. At that time, I think like Portugal has this, like whoever is like married or something, they can't go with
Okay.
their wife. It's more like, first the guy has to go, has to stay 6 months, and only then he could bring
Okay.
his wife or someone. So that's where like all the seniors rejected. And they saw like who is single here, who's not married here. So that's where I said like, okay, I would go. So
Okay.
I would say the luck favored a lot here for me.
That's very true. That's very true. I think you being single, that has played lot more efforts. So tell me, like, this is one again strange question.
Yeah.
From the Indian work environment, you traveled to Portugal, and obviously your salary would have increased. So what was the difference in the DevOps systems that Indian companies take and like outside companies take? Any difference did you observe?
Yes, first thing that I observed here is, here you don't have to work long hours. It's more
Okay.
like, let's say, there'll be no monitoring on you. It's like
Hmm.
they would give you a work. If you finished it, you're done. And even my manager recently came and he said, Sagar, if I give you a task, like we had this roundtable discussion, if I give
Hmm.
you a task, no matter like you go for some like party or something Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but if you said you will deliver it on Friday, I would come and ask it to you on Friday, and you had to show me the work. That's the only promise that should be here. No matter
Correct.
what you do in between, that will not be
Correct.
monitored. So it's kind of like you give a word, you deliver it. That's it. Nothing more. You
That
say a timeline, you deliver it, and meanwhile there'll be no monitoring. There'll be like a kind of just a tracking of where you are. And if you are
good.
stuck, there will be people helping you. And it's more like, let's say I recently had some Windows deployments or something, and I
Hmm.
do not know that much about that. So where they offered me like a reverse learning. So it's like they'll
Hmm.
give you time to learn. This is more of the thing that I observed here is they would not say you cannot work. They would say like as long as you have the capacity to learn, as long as
Hmm.
like you're willing to learn and like you're willing to work, that's amazing. Like you'll be given n number of chances to prove yourself. Only thing you
Great.
have to do is yes, you should make your worth it, like for the time they had put on you. And one more
Yes.
thing that I observed here is dignity of labor. So
Hmm.
it's more like I shouldn't say, but it's more like the level of respect you give for a manager, team lead, and teammate in India is different. Here it's the same.
Hmm.
So no
Okay.
matter he's a manager, and like I could say, not even in the profession, maybe even if he's a cleaner here, he would get the same
Hmm.
respect as the VP of the company. So
Oh,
there
okay.
is no like level of, it's just the thing they see here is it's just a job, it's just a source
Correct.
of money, it's not you. It's more like
Hmm.
now if you call me, you are calling me senior infrastructure engineer, even I'm proud of that. But it's more like here they don't call themselves by work, it's more like their profession is not their life.
Correct, correct, correct.
It's
Understood.
it's where like they get
Like
respect
everyone is
and
treated equally in
mm,
in your country. Great, great.
yes,
So tell me, like one thing, when you moved from India to there, right, Portugal,
yeah,
and you completed 1 year there. Now
yes,
contract. So some
yes.
people, what they do is they stay in the same company. But what made you, Kiar, okay, let's become the Portugal one company employee itself. Like what was that trigger, and how you again have to prepare yourself and look for job opportunities. So what was
Mm.
that process?
It's more like, as a man or like being a man, like we need respect, right? A kind of
Hmm.
thing that happened for me. Initially, my plan was not to like shift the company or something. I was very happy with the salary, was very happy
Hmm.
with the company, I was very happy with work because every day it was challenging. The thing is, like few of my friends, they got promotion and they were very happy with it. But somewhere
Hmm.
they started looking low, like I did certificates, I did lot of work, and still I did not got promotion. But they actually just like went and like talked to HR. They had some fights and they got promotion, and they saw me like differently. It's like
Hmm.
this guy doesn't even fight. This guy doesn't even. That somehow triggered me. So it's more
Okay.
like I need respect.
Hmm.
So it's more like if I want respect, only thing I could do is I can't go with the hikes here. So
Correct.
it's more like I need to change. So that's where I kept a target. It's
Hmm.
more like the one like who mocked me. No? So I wanted to have a salary higher than them. So that's
Correct.
my only target. So I
Hmm.
started giving interviews. I started, there were like some people offering me same salary and some people were like down. And there was even an Indian HR that said like, Sagar, you're asking too much. This is not how it
Hmm.
works. You're already on the higher salary range. You can't get
Hmm.
like give up a kind of thing. But I was like, no, this is kind of respect that I need. I can't lower my figures now.
Hmm.
So I went there, and to be honest, like the kind of salary I asked, they gave me more than what I asked.
Okay. Great.
They
Great. Great.
loved me in the interview, and
Hmm.
they loved a lot of things, and they were like, "You're the perfect guy we're seeking," and they don't want me to go everywhere else, so they offered me highest, whatever is the
Great.
highest budget they offered me, and I just in.
Awesome. Awesome. So you are having total of 6 years of experience right now.
Yes.
Yes, great, great. And title itself is very much interesting. So tell me, like, from the 200% hike, what's the hike right now you got it? Like maybe 400,
I could say 600%. No, no.
600%
One
hike.
second. One second. No, no. Yeah, I could say 400% if I compare with INR. Yes, it's like per month, it's 400%.
Great, great, great. That's awesome, man.
Yes.
So one interesting question here, right? Many people want to go from India to abroad,
Yeah.
right? You went via luck. So
Yes.
what is the suggestion you want to give, like considering the current situation and the process, work approvals, visa approvals? What is your take on that particular thing?
Yes, since I came here on luck, and I think like before podcast we did, I even told like apply the jobs directly in online and you would get. And there are some people that I saw, like they applied jobs directly to Germany and they got their work visa sponsored. But now the
Hmm.
situation's changed because of inflation and certainty. There were layoffs and everything. So it's like if a company wants to hire you, they should pay you relocation bonus. So that's
Okay.
where the companies were like backing off. So now
Hmm.
what they do is, let's say if my company wants to hire, they'll check within the same country so that they could
Oh,
skip the relocation bonus, which is of money. And like another thing is like if they're getting from, and like if they do not get the talents here, they go for Schengen countries. So the 20,
okay.
because they're in Europe. And only if they do not find such talent, then they go for like India, US, or any
Oh.
other.
So
But
they put filters now and
yes,
search very, very people who are
Yeah.
less salary and don't want to take anything like
Uh,
relocation bonus and all. I think
yeah.
that's very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and here what happens is the kind of like DevOps is booming and AI is booming and everything is booming. They're able to find talents here itself. And here, let's say like you worked in construction field before, and you're
Hmm.
actually learned like you had skills and you are now proving it in interview. You will be still hired. So your previous
Oh.
experience doesn't matter here. So that is where like people were able to find inside talents. And one
Okay.
more thing is here, like instead of luck, you could come here. There is this called job seeker visa. So two of
Hmm.
my friends have come. I think like we did a podcast on that as well. I could share later.
Hmm.
And like what they did was, for this job seeker visa, minimum requirement is, let's say you want to get into DevOps, you should have at least 1 year experience in India, and only then you
Hmm.
could come here, and you would have like 120 days or something to
Okay.
get a job. And if you are not able to get a job, you would be sent back. So like you are staying illegally here. But
Oh.
here in 120 days, you could easily get a job, like if you have
Oh.
right skills, because here the interview process is like very simpler compared to
Hmm.
like, because I faced interviews in India and compared to here,
Hmm.
it's more like you will have only 3 rounds. First thing is
Okay.
like your HR round, discussing like your
Hmm.
situation, your like legal situation because you are an immigrant here. And second thing is your technical round. And this technical round, do not expect like you'll have questions or something like what is Kubernetes architecture. No, it's
Hmm.
simply, can you do it?
Okay.
You should be confident enough saying that yes, I can do it. And
Okay.
the way you communicate, because here it's in Europe, and since it's English is a second language for them here, if you're
Hmm.
able to communicate well in English, so then like that's the first point here, like your skill, more than your skills, your English matters a lot here in IT,
Hmm.
here in Europe. And second thing is your confidence. Like if you say like they could do it, you should do it. Like you should
Okay.
be confident enough saying that you know it, yes. And third thing would be your client round, and even that's something like, a technical round or something that's done. And once it is done, and why they actually go through this simpler process is, let's say once you're hired, you put you in like probation period, and this
Okay.
probation period, and you were not able to prove what you promised in interview, you would be sent
Okay.
out without any
Oh.
notice. Like they could send you out, they had that rights. And
Okay.
being an employer, you also have the rights. Let's say because like in India we have notice period, once you join you can't go out. But here in this probation period, being an employer, even you can go out. So you could
Being an employee.
yeah, being an employer, you say like you got a nice offer than this, better offer than
Okay.
this,
Okay.
and you could just notice them, and your notice period would be just 7 days, just 1 week in
Oh.
probation period, and you leave happily, you can
Oh.
leave.
Great.
And like
Great.
after this 3 months, like in these 3 months, if you're not out, then like when not out from the company, then your
Correct.
notice period becomes 1 month.
Okay. Okay.
And like in this, after that, like let's say you're more than in a company for 2 years, then your
Hmm.
notice period becomes 2 months. So
Oh,
till
I
then,
think this is a very great
uh,
feature. I would
yes.
say feature.
And there is one more benefit as well. Like if you are in the same company for more than 3 years, you would have
Hmm.
SSN benefits. It's like social security benefits. And but for some reason, you lost the job. So this SSN would pay you money till 6 months, till you get
Oh,
a
okay.
job. It's more like your job financially secured as well. You could
Correct.
relaxly search the job. So these are
Correct.
the benefits I'm saying.
Great, 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 great. Actually, I think that what you told with the notice period, right?
Mm.
I think in India also it should be implemented, correct?
Yeah,
Like many
yes.
people I see like 90 days notice period, they are suffering, they are not able to cope up. I think you and me in our first companies also,
Yes.
we face the same issues, right? So, what will be the proper roadmap for a DevOps engineer right now in 2025, according to you? You have seen Indian standards, have seen outside country standards, and probably you have seen like neighboring countries also. Like, what is the
Yes.
strongest roadmap you will suggest?
Roadmap in the sense, I would say, let's say, I would not say like go for Linux, this thing, these things.
Hmm. Hmm.
The way I learned is like basics are like very important, like be it like here in Europe or India or something. As I said, like there is just a folder structure that I removed, like anybody can do it. It's just like
Hmm.
I observed it, one thing.
Hmm. Hmm.
And not the roadmap, it's more like, let's say you could take a project, single project, because now there are a lot of projects that are available. but I see a lot projects are actually finished projects. It's more
Okay.
like, let's say, once you enter into a company, you wouldn't like you get a finished project itself, but you would learn nothing there. It's more like you had just had
Mm.
to maintain or something. Because I'm in an infrastructure role, I'm actually developing from scratch, so I had an idea. But if you are
Correct.
going to company which is already developed, if a new guy comes, it's already developed, its only job would be
Correct.
maintain, and he has
Mm.
nothing to learn, nothing to implement. So I would say, take any project, any DevOps project, implement from scratch. Let's say maybe I actually designed a project where I
Mm.
actually took a a React code and how it's dropped into Nginx, and the
Okay.
same thing, because I want to know like how it's done manually before going into
Correct.
DevOps. And the same thing, like how it is Dockerized, because Docker came in, like how Docker helps, and like how container port and host port, like how you deploy it in EC2,
Mm.
and then like how you get this Docker image into Kubernetes. So it's a step by
Got it.
step process. And
Correct.
in Kubernetes, once these everything is manual, how you automate it, like using Bash, how you automate it using Ansible, and then how you
Correct.
automate it using Jenkins, because Jenkins is a
Correct.
CI/CD pipeline. So that's how
Correct.
I actually designed a project. And then, there is this SSL certificates as well. Sometimes we as a
Mm.
DevOps engineer had to renew. Somewhere
Correct.
I boarded up that as well. And let's say even I took Terraform project where, let's say, the resources, because in our project the resources are already up. Now we had to
Mm.
bring the resources which are up under our control. But in companies it's
Correct.
different. It's more like, once the project is getting onboarded, first we have a plan, and then we
Mm.
develop resources using Terraform, and only
Correct.
then we implement that. But here it's
Exactly.
different. So it's more like, in my project I had to like import the resources which are already under there. So it's a
Okay.
kind of thing. And like in the project in the same itself, I actually implemented Prometheus, Grafana,
Mm.
and also at the end, because at that time Argo CD is getting into trend, we actually implemented
Mm.
Argo CD as well there. So
Got
that's
it. Got
how
it.
it's like a process project that I did from DevOps to GitOps. So in the
Correct. Correct.
entire process, it's more like we did not get into too much advance, because
Mm.
basics are important. It's more like, let's say,
Correct.
be it any tool, first thing is learn basics, learn how to
Correct.
apply this tool, like learn
Correct.
how this tool gets connected with other tools. These three
Correct.
are main important thing that I would say. Like, rather than
Mm.
following a roadmap, like go for a project, and whatever this project teaches, like in this project, let's say not me or someone, you saw a project and that guy uses GitHub Actions, learn that
Mm.
tool first. And let's say, because do not waste much time and like learning same similar kind of tools. It's more like, you learned AWS, like just go for Jenkins. Like, do not sit now to Azure or GCP,
Correct.
because there will be only minor changes, because I worked with a lot of clouds, I worked with a
Mm.
lot of CI/CD
Correct. Correct.
pipelines. So there would be only minor changes in syntax. Like, why waste your time investing there when you could just uh, you know you'll observe this change just in 1 week. You could like grasp whatever is the new
Correct.
tool in the similar tools. So it
Mm.
doesn't make sense if you are like done with like AWS, now go for Azure, now go for GCP.
Mm.
No. And even this is one more thing, because I gave an interviews in like India and here as well. One more thing is
Mm.
like, even though I had no experience with GCP, I was actually giving interviews to GCP in both in India and here. It's more like, because they know the cloud is actually similar, and this guy could grasp.
Correct.
Any guy could
Exactly.
grasp. So it
Exactly.
makes no sense for you to waste time in learning there. Like, once you are into work, you learn. There's no option for you. But now
Correct.
once you have time, like invest the same time in other tools. That's it.
Oh, okay. Got it. Got it. So tell me, like, you have a very good package right now. You are
Yeah.
doing good in your company. Like, I also see that you are working on the Udemy part also. Like, you are
Yes.
helping, like, how I help to the people. And now you are in the path, like, okay, whatever you have achieved with your talent, you want to help few more to overcome that challenges whatever you have faced, right?
Yes.
So what is that you are doing, right? Can you just tell to my community also, so that anyone who has got any opportunities, such kind of things, they will also help others, right?
Yes. Do you mean the Udemy or this
Yes,
course?
anything like
Yes.
what you are doing right now.
Yes. Maybe I could share screen here of like how I designed Udemy course. Is that fine?
Okay. Sure, go ahead.
Yes. Fine. I think, yeah, this is the course. Actually, like before this, what happened, how this Udemy idea came is, before I used to do it in YouTube, just like as I explained this project, right? The DevOps to GitOps. So it's actually already in YouTube, completely till GitOps and a complete
Hmm.
project overview. But now what happened was, like my community, like I wouldn't call them as community because I call them as friends only. We were that close. So what
Hmm.
happened was, even though I teach Jenkins, so they were like the job descriptions has Azure pipelines and the job description has GitHub Actions. They were like, teach us this. I was like, why do you waste time? Like, yes, go give for interviews. And they were, you know, and somewhere they were like not okay with the idea of even this project being free. They said
Hmm.
like this DevOps to GitOps, put it in Udemy. I
Hmm.
was like, I had to counter because like somebody who has free access to YouTube, why would like you put the same money to watch it in YouTube, Udemy? I said like this doesn't make sense. Like whoever finished the project or whoever wants to see, I can't remove
Hmm.
now and put there. So I thought like to counter this both. I thought like I'll get a new idea. So that's where I developed an idea. And because
Hmm.
as I said, I was working in multiple projects. The thing that I observed is like Kubernetes stays common, Terraform stays common, Ansible stays common, most part. Only thing that
Hmm.
changed was first I worked on Jenkins, then I worked on GitLab, then I worked on Azure pipelines. Now I'm working on GitHub Actions. So this is how the things were changing every time.
Okay.
So that's where I thought maybe like if you could understand the difference between CI/CD pipelines and like how runners are configured, how like Azure pipelines work, so that makes things easier even for the
Hmm.
community of I have, and like the way they requested to have in Udemy, so both conditions would satisfy. That's where I actually designed this project, saying that like
Hmm.
first same thing, React application, how do you do it manually and how do you Dockerize and how do you Kubernetes. From here the automation started where we
Okay.
had used Jenkins, GitHub Actions.
Hmm.
It's the same project.
Okay.
Like let's say it could be actually used. You could call this as a migration as well, like how it's
Okay.
in Jenkins and like how it appears in GitHub Actions and how it
Got it.
appears in GitLab and how it appears in AWS Code Pipeline, Azure Pipeline, GCP. And somewhere like for everything we had actually had this repos, like individual repos for practice as well.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
have the README file of what this actually does. And
Got it.
because in pipelines, you need to have like runners and everything, you can't do stuff. So that's where like there were actually issues where for configuring runners as well.
Hmm.
So that's where I had designed every project, like taking a runner's help and like deploying using that runner instead of self-hosted. It's more like
Got it.
your, sorry, instead of the custom that's provided, it's a self-hosted runners.
Got it. Got it. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yes,
Okay, that's good. I think you have shown. So, can you also show me some things on LinkedIn, like how to search for a job,
uh,
like for outside countries? India, pretty much aware. So,
uh,
any tips you have?
Yes, it's not a kind of tip that I would give. And because like since now I'm here and I'm having a high salary and I'm very happy. And if you observe
Hmm.
like starting like on 2 to 3 weeks, I was actually I wanted to tell this as well. I'm not that active on LinkedIn to be honest now. So it was like I took a break and something. And now what happened is even though I took a break, this is what happens like for searching jobs or something, make your LinkedIn profile optimized.
Hmm.
So the kind like what happens if you do LinkedIn profile optimize that I could show. Today is July 12th and this is July 11th. This is a HR
Correct.
that reached out to me. I was not searching for jobs. I'm very honest. I was not searching for jobs. And this is another guy like who reached out. Like if you could see, they texted me first. This is Alex. They
Hmm.
texted me first. These are like 9, 10, 11. These are recent. As you could see, these are
Correct.
very recent. So I'm actually getting like mails or like messages every day. It's more like now it's more like they can't offer the budget I'm asking. So that's where like I'm moving out. Else like we would have like gone together like somewhere. But how this is happening is because my LinkedIn profile is optimized, as
Got it.
simple
Got
as that. And what happens is being like these guys like technical recruiters and all, they search for DevOps profiles and
it. Hmm.
whoever profile is active, let's say they're active or they're actually posting their profile is optimized, that shows on top. And you don't need LinkedIn premium for this as well. So that's where
Okay.
like my profile is getting on the top list. So that's where I'm
Great.
getting messages. It's more like now, as I said, like you remember at that time I had lot of rejections, and now I'm
Correct.
at a position where I'm rejecting. So
That's great actually, and it's very motivating also when you are showing like 4 to 5 offers. I mean, at least calls people are doing at least for a day means
uh,
it's
i-
very
it's
good.
more like I'm actually here the LinkedIn profile optimization, right? As simple as that. First thing is your profile photo and your banner.
Hmm.
This is something I would recommend for everyone. And as well, this LinkedIn profile URL to make it as short as possible. It's more like for some people, it's like A, or something like you have these
Correct.
characters. Just remove that. And here is something like whatever your skills are with pipes.
Hmm. Mm-mm.
And I think like in the about section, like I actually kept my achievements, as you could see. This is something I'm very
Correct.
proud of, because like
Mm.
somebody recruiter comes, like he need to know that I'm actually had milestones or something. So this is
Correct.
one thing in the about. And as well, like this is something I'm seeing online, but there is
Mm.
this AI tool as well, which I found out recently. Maybe you
Oh,
could
yes.
use that as well. Yeah, this is called Career Flow.
Mm-hmm.
Career Flow, you get this Career Flow, just like go for Google extensions, like you would get this button Career Flow, and here
Okay.
it actually checks. My profile is not completely optimized, it's actually only 65% optimized, as you could see,
Mm-hmm.
and open to work, because I was not searching for job, I did not kept.
Correct.
And here in
Mm.
experience, as you could see, and now I did not kept any skills here in
Got it.
yeah, so that is where it says like you did not keep skills, so that's where it has a warning button saying that
Oh,
like
okay. So
yeah.
it will find out all the negatives and tell to convert it into the positive.
Yes, and experience. This is something. Oh, okay. I showed it just now. And maybe like education as well. I just kept like I'm actually working. I kept nothing like what I did
Mm.
there. Something like it asks me to keep what I did there in mechanical engineer is something project that I did or something I had achieved. So it,
Mm-hmm.
like then your profile goes for 65% to 100% kind. And here
Got
in
it. Got it.
volunteering as well, like some people prefer it. It's more like, let's say in Vizag, there was Hudud attack. I went for volunteering, beach
Mm.
clean campaigns. You could keep those as well here.
Got it. Got it.
And
I
one
think
more
this is good.
yeah, and one more AI tool that I found interesting was Job Analytics. I think
Okay.
this is the one, Job Analytics. Like you could find this in Google Chrome extensions. These are extensions actually. So I had uploaded my resume. Let's say now I want this job. I just like once I open this job, I just click on this. So this actually goes for analyze job description. Like what are keywords that are missing in my resume to get this job? So it's more like before I apply this job, I simply actually would make change. As you could see, there are like these keywords, like the red, green itself means my keywords are present. As you could see, there is no PowerShell here. One second,
Correct.
1 second, my bad.
Ah, sure.
Yeah, there is no PowerShell here. And if I show my resume, yes. So here there is no keyword called PowerShell. Even though I worked with PowerShell, I did not kept there. So
Correct.
as
Correct.
simple as that, I would keep, and now I apply it to the job. It's more like you'll tailor the jobs. That's it.
Correct. 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 Makes
It's
sense.
more
Makes sense.
like tailoring the resumes.
Understood. Understood. I think this is good. I will also definitely try to check these things.
Yes. And one more thing
Oh,
is more like if you had like any milestones achieved or something you had learned, you had to be at least active, at least 15 minutes in LinkedIn, something that I would suggest, just for your profile to be active, and as well
correct.
post something of your achievements. Let's say you
Mm.
had just like this pipeline thing that I said, like I could post, or something like you had troubleshooted, you could post that as well. So
Got it.
there, like if someone recruiter comes, like they could see, okay, like you're doing improvements in company and you're sharing your knowledge and
Mm.
everything, your impression would be built.
Great. So,
Yes.
great, Sagar. I think you have told so many things from your end, and
Mm.
definitely it's going to help the community. Thanks a lot for giving so much time, and thanks for coming to us and sharing all your knowledge,
Uh,
right?
yes, I think like one more thing, like before we
Uh,
end up, like I just want to say, because like we live in an uncertain thing now. It's like even in my company there were layoffs on like this last
correct.
month, and so everyone without notice they were out. So it
Correct.
happened like that. So it's more like the uncertainty. But in Europe it's fine. You have this SSN like 6 months thing. But like
Mm.
in India, I would suggest like instead of like focus on your skills, like basics are too much important. And then like in the finance part, because something your job is related to your finance, at least save 6 months of your expenses, let's say.
Correct.
And then like be it your track trip or anything, I would say like sacrifice those, like save
Mm.
like 6 months of emergency funds. Then
Correct.
even though if you lose job in this uncertain market, you have 6 months and you have basics, you have skills. You could like search job tension free, like worry free,
Correct.
happily. It's like your EMIs are there, your savings are paying. And because like some people I saw, like they don't save anything, and like when job incident happen, a
Correct.
kind of mental state we go into. It's
Correct.
like
Correct.
now it's like a 60,000 EMI I had to pay, or 70K EMI I had to pay. And so that's
Correct.
what I
Correct. Correct.
suggest, at least 6 months of your expenses. Then make sacrifices, I would say, like the trips and all, save, and then happily run your life.
Great, great, great. So thanks a lot, Sagar, right, for your valuable words. Definitely I think community will love all these things, whatever you have told. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.